Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning, the head of the Centers for Disease Control faces questions over the newly relaxed mask guidelines.
And outside with live cam, a rain-free morning. If you close your eyes for just a second and imagine, it almost feels a little fallish out there this morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday. It is May 20th.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, you are right. It does feel like fall.
Bit on the cool side. I'm hoping that radar is clear. We need a bit of a break. A lot of folks got way too much rain yesterday, yes. Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, especially east and southeast. You know, we had some of those flash flood mornings in the morning hours with some of those storms that popped up. But you were right. Good. Radar is clear this morning. And yeah, it does feel kind of fallish when you step outside. It's kind of like, ooh, that's nice. It's coolish out there. A lot of moisture in the ground, though. And temperatures and dew points and all that. Temperature right now is at 60, 56 comfort. Yeah, light jacket's a pretty good idea this morning. Also because there is so much relative humidity. Dew points are down below 60, so it's comfortable, but you know, relative to the temperature, it's very high. So it's kind of that dampish cool out there. It kind of draws the heat away from your body a little bit. So yeah, that's why a jacket's a pretty good idea. And with all this moisture in the ground and dew points relatively high, there's a little bit of fog, excuse me, trying to show up. I think we have to kind of watch out for that. A ton of it over there right around Houston. So just keep an eye out, especially in low-lying areas, for some fog this morning. Mold is definitely on the high side, and hopefully it drops down a little bit, but all this moisture around here is probably going to keep that up there. And throughout the rest of the morning, we'll be right around 60 or so. Again, a patch of fog here or there. Just kind of watch out for that. And then we'll keep a fair amount of clouds around. A little bit of sunshine, though, mixed in later on today. 82 for a high temperature. I don't think we're completely done with the rain. The really heavy stuff, that's not going to be as widespread, but we'll still have a few showers around. We'll talk about that and a closer look at the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark?
Thank you very much, Mike. New this morning, San Antonio police say a man is dead following a shooting on the east side overnight. Happened just after 11 p.m. in the 2400 block of East Commerce in the parking lot of Stanley's Ice House. SAPD says when officers arrived, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. He was pronounced dead on the scene. The only lead investigators have right now is a black car that was seen leaving that area. Tension over some of the new mask guidance put in place by the CDC. That includes whether schools should insist that children wear masks.
Now the CDC director is being questioned on this new guidance. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has more.
The original epicenter of the pandemic roaring back to a new normal, with fully vaccinated New Yorkers cleared to ditch the masks indoors and outdoors.
The bottom line is if you're vaccinated, you have more freedom.
Some businesses keeping mask rules or asking for proof of vaccination. The owner of this restaurant says their customers are more comfortable dining outside. But across the country, a growing battle over masks as millions of children are still unvaccinated. Texas's governor is threatening to fine schools and local governments up to $1,000 if they impose mask mandates. In Florida, parents demanding schools drop masks in classrooms.
If a parent wants to have their child wear a mask to school, go for it. Just please do not mandate what my child must do.
The CDC director pressed on Capitol Hill on the new mask guidance and the questions facing American families.
Does my child need to wear a mask at school? Who's the ultimate decider here? Is that the CDC? Is it the president? Is the governor?
Dr. Rochelle Walensky saying decisions should be made at the local level.
We recommended that schools not change anything for this school year because it will be hard for our youth to get fully vaccinated before the end of this school year.
And senators asking why fully vaccinated Americans can go without a mask inside a restaurant, but not on a flight.
And why is it different on an airplane as opposed to a restaurant?
There's very little choice when you board an airplane as to who's going to be sitting next to you, who's around you. And also, airplanes may be a place where we have more variance because of the travel from international places.
That was ABC's Eva Pilgrim reporting. Other news this morning, Hamas officials say that a ceasefire is imminent, possibly within 24 hours. A Hamas leader described there being a positive atmosphere around the talks to reach an agreement with Israel, thanking Egypt and Qatar for proposing different solutions. There's been no comment from Israel. Instead, Israel has unleashed a wave of airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, killing at least one person and wounding several others. Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he will continue Israel's military operation in Gaza until its objective is achieved.
The U.S. House has voted to create an independent commission on the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. However, the legislation has an uncertain future in the Senate as Republican leaders work to stop a bipartisan investigation that is opposed by former President Donald Trump. The bill passed the House with 35 Republicans voting with Democrats in support of the commission. Modeled after the investigation into the September 11, 2001 attacks, the legislation would establish an independent 10-member commission that would make recommendations by the end of the year.
China's Space Administration releasing first images taken by its Mars rover, which landed on Saturday morning. One colorful image taken by a navigation camera shows the solar panel and antenna have unfolded normally after landing. The six-wheeled solar-powered rover weighs about 530 pounds and carries 6 scientific instruments. It will be deployed later from the lander for a 3-month mission on the red planet.
And time now is 4:35 and about 62 degrees right now.
Demand for rental cars sky high right now. Still ahead on GMSA, how you can make a little cash on the side by simply renting out your vehicle.
And the San Antonio Spurs trying one last time to make it into the playoffs did not end so well. We're going to have some highlights coming up.
And back outside with live cam. Very cool start to May the 20th, that's for sure. We'll get an update on rain chances as we get closer to the weekend. Coming up with meteorologist Mike Osterhage. We're just getting started on Good Morning San Antonio. Our San Antonio Spurs limped into last night's play-in game. Losers of 10 of their last 12. The Grizzlies, on the other hand, winners of their last 6 of 7. Spurs off to a great start. First play of the game, DeJounte Murray goes in for the slam, but it was all Grizzlies after that. Memphis pulled out the stops, probably their biggest home game since the Grizzlies' last playoff appearance in 2017 against these very Spurs. But staying positive, Coach Pop said he told his Spurs he didn't know if he's ever been more proud of a team that doesn't quit. DeMar DeRozan and Rudy Gay each scored 20 points as the Spurs lost their 5th straight. DeJounte Murray had his 5th triple-double with 10 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. Keldon Johnson added 11, and Jakob Poeltl added 10. Poeltl also tied his career high with 5 blocks. So the Spurs season officially comes to an end. The final last night, Spurs lose 100-96, and our guys will miss the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row.
You know, it's bittersweet, you know, because obviously, you know, you want to do better, you want to go further. But I mean, I'm proud of my teammates. You know, I'm proud of my coaches. I'm proud of everyone that contributed. You know, we went through a lot of trials, you know, throughout the season, a lot of ups and downs. You know, and for some reason, it's just like we couldn't give up. You know, we kept fighting, regardless of what 5 stepped on the court, we kept fighting. Regardless of the score, we kept fighting. Regardless of the situation, we kept fighting. And, you know, as a team, as a player, you know, that's all you can ask for.
Now to a little baseball over at Wolf Stadium after losing 1-0 the night before. The Missions dropped their 2nd straight game to Frisco last night. The final 8-2. The two teams play again tonight, starting at 7:05.
Good luck to them, and we are sorry about the Spurs, but you know you guys kept trying to the very end.
We'll look forward to next year. Right now it is 4:40, about 62 degrees.
And have a spare car that you'd like to rent out and make some extra cash. Well, up next we're going to talk to peer-to-peer car rentals and how you can cash in.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it happened in broad daylight. A brazen attempt at what would have been this mother's worst nightmare.
If I would have lost her yesterday, the chances of me getting her back would have been very slim.
The 11-year-old seen in this video in the fight of her life is Amber Bonell's daughter, Alyssa. She told GMA overnight only one thing was on her mind.
Will I die today? Will I get to live the rest of my life?
She was almost kidnapped. That the guy grabbed her by her throat. He had a knife. He drug her to the ground. She was able to knock him down.
Experts say quick thinking saved her life.
She kept her head on a swivel, and that's probably why she's alive today. It's amazing that she was able to see this dangerous situation, avoid it.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the tips every parent should teach children in situations like this. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
If you're traveling this summer, experts suggest you book rental cars as soon as you can because in some places there's a shortage.
And as 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, enterprising people are taking advantage by listing their personal vehicles for rent.
After flying from Japan to SA, Mike Fleming's family thought they'd grab a rental car.
So far, no luck.
Yeah, no luck at the moment. So.
What are they telling her?
Well, they were just all completely booked out.
Depending on your location and dates, demand for rental cars is racing, but some inventories are running on fumes. Last year, many companies had to slash their idle fleets, and now with a chip shortage, they're challenged to buy new cars fast enough.
With travel picking up, visitors are needing wheels to get around, so some folks have found a way to meet a need and make a buck.
I know the struggle, we know it. So we just wanted to help people out.
So Fabiola Brooks and her husband listed their 2017 Nissan Versa for rent.
As soon as we posted the same days, we got a booking right away.
They listed on Turo, one peer-to-peer car rental business. Think of it as an Airbnb, but for cars. Need a car in San Diego this week? We searched Turo's website and found a Hyundai for $37 a day, even a Maserati for $161 a day. For travelers, car sharing sites like Turo, Avail, and Getaround offer potential savings and more options. For Fabiola, she sets her price, Turo gets a cut, and she has a side gig making extra cash.
For the weekend, about between 180 and 200.
As for the Fleming family, after standing in a few lines,
we ended up with an SUV.
They left happy and with wheels ready to roll. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
And again, those websites, Turo, that's Turo, and Avail like available.
Available, yeah. What is available at this point? Let's go ahead and check in with Mike. We have a little bit of a break this morning.
Yeah, and it's really pleasant when you step outside this morning as well. So things are greening up very nicely. I think we have to watch out for a speck or two of fog here this morning. But yesterday, great picture when some of the clouds finally end up. A lot of folks did see somewhat of a sunset yesterday. And right now we are starting off from a fair amount of clouds out there. But when you step outside, it's like, wow, this is nice. I mean, temperatures are in the low 60s and upper, even mid 50s in parts of the hill country. And the humidity dew point temperatures, the measure of moisture in the atmosphere, have dropped down anywhere from, say, 2, 4, 10 degrees compared to yesterday. So we are a little bit drier out there, and still some moisture aloft in the atmosphere. This is the water vapor imagery, which shows that. But also what you can see is there's still a disturbance around here. It's not as pronounced today, but it's going to sort of get a second wind, if you will, by tomorrow. And so that's where rain chances kind of come back into the picture again tomorrow. Also, right now we've got, like I said, low humidity around here, but the humidity as we go into the overnight hours and tomorrow is definitely going to start to come back in here. So you get that extra humidity around, and it doesn't take much then to kind of squeeze out a couple of showers or even a couple of thunderstorms, and that helps to feed some of that. And even by tomorrow mid-morning or mid-afternoon, it's going to be dew point temperatures well up in the mid to upper 60s and even some low 70s. So here's computer model, and today nothing going on out there. We'll have kind of mostly cloudy skies. Some folks may see even more sunshine than that. And obviously temperature is going to be very, very dependent on how many holes we get in the clouds out there. But as of right now, going for low 80s here in town. And then we go into tomorrow morning and a couple of sprinkly showers here and there. Not a real big deal, but then throughout the day we'll start to see a few more showers, even a couple of thunderstorms. The majority of the rain is going to be off to the east where they don't need it, because some areas off to the east picked up close to a foot of rain. There were some just intense storms over the past couple of days, but there will be just a few scattered showers around the area tomorrow, and then even Saturday morning. Now, this is not going to be a washout, but it's just one of those where don't be surprised if a shower pops up here and there, and then a few more throughout the rest of the day on Saturday. A couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms popping up just around the area. I think that as far as the widespread really heavy stuff, any storm that pops up, obviously you can get a heavy downpour from, but I think like I said, widespread heavy stuff is kind of the thing of the past right now. 75 degrees today at noon, mostly cloudy skies, and still keep it mostly cloudy. Again, some folks will see maybe a little more sunshine here and there. 82 high temperatures, still below normal by about 5 degrees or so. And then tomorrow, a couple of showers, couple of thunderstorms. One or two of them here and there. A little bit better chance over the weekend. There's a lot of graduations, commencement ceremonies.
Oh, that's right.
Cap and gown. Have a little umbrella just to be on the safe side if it's an outdoor event. I don't think it's going to be a washout, but just keep that around. And then even a few showers around starting off next week. Not a big chance of rain, but one or two of them here and there.
Well, we're kind of getting used to this. It's turned out to be a very wet spring here in South Texas. So
what's funny though is as much rain as we had, especially ending up April and starting off the month of May in the past couple of days, we are right about normal now. Now that's just at the airport.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Now we picked up less than a half an inch of rain in all this, and some areas picked up 2 and 3 inches in outlying areas. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, it's almost right on par right now. So
that's great.
Paid off.
Thank you, Mike. 450, about 62 degrees.
And coming up next, audiences are getting their first look at the new Aretha Franklin biopic.
And here are your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 780, Fireball 7. Daily 4, 4508, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 9, 10, 11, 13, 29. And Lotto Texas 4, 12, 25, 37, 51, 53. And your Powerball numbers 11, 13, 55, 56, 69, Powerball 4, Power Play 2. Good luck.
Aretha Franklin's the subject of a brand new film starring Jennifer Hudson.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's CNN's Mark Rimillard.
I want to take this moment to share something very personal with you.
Singer Demi Lovato is now identifying as non-binary and is changing pronouns to they, them moving forward. Lovato told fans on Twitter the decision came after self-reflective work. Lovato defined non-binary as, quote, not exclusively a man nor a woman. Former Grey's Anatomy star Sarah Ramirez will be a series regular on the HBO revival of Sex and the City. Ramirez will play comedian Che Diaz, a non-binary stand-up comedian who hosts a podcast on which Carrie Bradshaw is regularly featured. Ramirez also identifies as non-binary. And audiences are getting their first look at the new Aretha Franklin biopic, Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson. The film, which wrapped shooting just before the pandemic lockdown last spring, is scheduled to premiere in theaters on August 13th. Happy 75th birthday to singer, actress, superstar Cher. And rapper Busta Rhymes turns 49. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Good morning. Right now on KSAT.com, we are talking about George Strait, and he's returning to a stage.
Oh yeah, the king of country is back. And so George just announced the other day that he's going to be performing at next year's Houston Rodeo with tickets going on sale June 24th. This is going to be amazing.
I already put it on my calendar. And I'm like, June 24th, buy George Strait tickets. Hopefully I could get some. But this is awesome. Yeah. I mean, he sells out at the rodeo before. This isn't his first time performing. And Texas Houston Rodeo wants to do it even bigger this year. It is I believe, their 90th anniversary. Yeah. So they didn't have a rodeo. So next year, 2022, George Strait at the rodeo there. RJ, are you planning to go?
I would love to go. I will try and get some tickets, but we shall see. And that concert is going to be held at Energy Stadium, so you're going to expect a lot
big
of people,
crowd.
Probably a record crowd. So if you want more information on this, go to our website, KSAT.com.
A lot of people excited about that.
5 till right now at about 62 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, we're getting reaction from lawmakers in Washington now that the House has voted to create a commission regarding the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol.
The end of an era for Microsoft. We'll tell you about their plans to retire Internet Explorer coming up in your morning Tech Bites.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, the perfect lawn may be green and nice to look at, but did you know a well-kept front yard may not be so environmentally friendly? RJ Marcus will show us an alternative to front lawns. That's on GMSA at 6.
And if you're headed out the door in the next 15 minutes or so, Stephen Cavazos will give us up to speed with a traffic update. You're watching GMSA.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
The House voted to create a commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol. I'm Micah Jachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, why Republicans are opposing the effort.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're in the low 60s right now. Nice and cool out there and a little break from the rain.
And a good morning to you. It is Thursday, May 20th. And yeah, you almost have to pinch yourself and look at the calendar. It feels unusually cool for late May.
It does. It definitely feels like fall. That's what you were saying earlier. And I guess will it continue to be this way for a little bit, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, when the normal high temperature is 88 degrees, the normal low is 68, and we're in the low 60s right now. Yeah, it is kind of fallish out there. No complaints anywhere. We're down to 60 right now. Dew point's at 58. So anytime that bottom number is below 60, of course, it is pleasant out there. But then you compare the two of them. So relative to that temperature, there's a lot of moisture in the air. That's why the humidity is at 93%. And with that extra humidity, all the moisture in the ground, which is going to try and evaporate, we got to watch out for just a patch or two of fog around the area this morning. We'll make it up to 82 later on, and some folks will get warmer than that. It's very dependent on clouds. I'm kind of thinking we're keeping a lot of clouds around here. For some reason, the aquifer dropped down 0.2 of a foot on yesterday's reading, and the allergens very high on the mold count, 15,000 plus, and that's probably going to be staying up there a little bit more. Of course, the updated count is going to be coming out in just about right after 7 o'clock, 7:30 or so. Visibility around the area, not bad, but there are hints of fog. 7 miles in Castroville, 8 in New Braunfels, and down to 5 miles visibility right now in Gonzales. So we'll just have to watch out as the morning rolls on. We approach sunrise for some of this fog to kind of thicken up a little bit here and there. Coolish, cloudy, patchy fog. A light jacket's not a bad idea. And then leaning toward the mostly cloudy side. Some sunshine mixed in today, low 80s. Tomorrow, couple of showers, couple of storms. We can't rule it completely out. Rain chances aren't that great, but they will go up ever so slightly over the weekend. It's not going to be a complete washout this weekend, but we will have a few more scattered showers and some thunderstorms around here. Details on that and look ahead to next week. Is there more rain? That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen Cavazos. Good morning, sir. Anything going on?
Hey, well, good news, Mike. If our viewers are heading out the door in the next few moments, nothing too major right now, but we have spotted a little bit of a slowdown there in the eastbound lanes of 1604 that just popped up. But we want to show you there was some construction that was happening here in those westbound lanes of I-10 right at Zill Road. It does look like it's looking pretty smooth right now, so that's good news if you're coming in to downtown San Antonio on those westbound lanes of I-10. But let's take a look at those inbound times while we're talking about that. About 29 minutes coming in from Seguin on I-10 to downtown San Antonio, 23 minutes on 281 coming in from Bulverde to downtown, and we're looking at 25 minutes on 35 from New Braunfels. But like we said, things are pretty good if you're heading out the door in the next few minutes. Nothing too crazy right now, but of course, we'll be keeping tabs throughout the morning. Guys?
Thank you very much, sir. Breaking overnight from Capitol Hill, the House votes yes to form a 9/11 style commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol.
35 Republicans breaking with House Leader Kevin McCarthy by voting for the commission. The bill now moves to the Senate. ABC's Ike Ajachi has the latest from Washington.
The bill is passed.
Overnight, 35 Republicans splitting with the party, voting alongside Democrats to create a 9/11-style commission investigating the attack on the Capitol.
The American people expect Congress to put partisanship aside for the sake of our homeland security.
That is a really striking display of disloyalty inside a party where President Trump has been so dominant. But that's a pretty big number to see about 36 cross-party lines like that.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell originally signaling he was open to the formation of a commission, now calling the effort slanted and unbalanced.
What is clear is that House Democrats have handled this proposal in partisan bad faith, going right back to the beginning.
Democrats are shocked at the opposition. Congressman Tim Ryan slamming the majority of Republicans who voted against the proposed panel, which was developed by a group of lawmakers in both parties.
Benghazi, you guys chased the former Secretary of State all over the country, spent millions of dollars. We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship. What else has to happen in this country?
Democrats say they'll move forward with or without GOP help.
We will find the truth. If they don't want to do this, we will.
But they'll need the support of 10 Republicans in the Senate to get this passed.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
The resistance against the commission spearheaded by the former president, Trump releasing a statement saying Republicans in the House and Senate should not approve the Democrat trap of the January 6th commission. It is just more partisan unfairness. Now, even though his brother, former Vice President Mike Pence, was targeted by the mob on January 6th, Congressman Greg Pence opposes the commission. He says it's too partisan. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, drivers for VIA buses demanding an increase in pay. The local union says drivers have continued to work through the pandemic and are demanding a 5% wage increase. VIA released a statement saying, in part, quote, operators received a wage increase in August of 2020 to honor our working conditions. A scheduled increase for salaried employees was not implemented in 2020 amid budget uncertainties due to the ongoing pandemic. An adjustment was made for administrative employees in April of 2021, end quote. VIA officials also say while there is no formal contract with the local union, but the discussion is ongoing.
An investigation expected after death row inmate's execution last night. Quentin Jones was given a lethal injection without any media witnesses present at the Huntsville facility. Prison officials say they forgot to notify reporters. The Associated Press notes that the previous 570 executions carried out here in Texas since capital punishment resumed in 1982 have all had at least one media witness. A spokesperson for the agency was not sure if the glitch was a violation of state or a violation of agency policy. Officials described the execution as nothing out of the ordinary, but spokesman Jeremy Diesel said, quote, my assumption is there will be a thorough investigation of how this all transpired and what was missed that allowed it to happen, end quote.
San Antonio police and Crime Stoppers need your help solving an arson case. So back on February 20th, police report that two suspects used ignitable liquids to start a fire at the Main Street bar located in the 13,400 block of Wetmore Road. Now, cameras captured the suspects trying to burn down the building. Investigators say they need help identifying the person in the brown jacket and black hat. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at number 210-224-STOP. You could get a cash reward.
Right now it is 5:06, about 62 degrees.
And still ahead, why Microsoft has decided this is the end for its most popular web browser, Internet Explorer.
And up next, the mother of a Florida girl who fought off a would-be kidnapper sharing her reaction following this terrifying incident.
And taking a look outside with live cam, nice and cool in the low 60s this morning. Enjoy it because you know what? We're in May already. So next month is June. We'll be right back.
This morning we have a follow-up of that young girl in Florida nearly kidnapped at a bus stop. She fought back and the suspect was arrested.
Now we're hearing from the girl's mother. ABC's Andrea Fujii has a story.
This morning, the mother of a Florida girl who fought off a would-be kidnapper is sharing her anguish.
If I would have lost her yesterday, the chances of me getting her back would have been very slim.
Her 11-year-old daughter, Alyssa, was waiting for the bus in West Pensacola when a man, seen on security video, ran out of his car and grabbed her. But Alyssa fought back. He fell and she ran away. He then drove off and was arrested a short time later.
You have the right to remain silent.
30-year-old Jared Stanga made his first court appearance Thursday, charged with kidnapping, assault, and battery. Police say he had a knife and started choking Alyssa as he tried to drag her to his car.
When you look at the video and you think of what could have happened, it's not a nice thought.
Alyssa's mom, Amber, says this wasn't the first time Alyssa had seen Stanga. About 2 weeks ago, Alyssa had what she describes as a concerning encounter with him. Since then, Amber has walked Alyssa to school every day, except Tuesday, when she says she had to tend to Alyssa's younger sibling.
It's creating guilt. We're not going out there. I mean, but I can't let that tear me up because I was going out there. None of this is not my fault. It's not her fault. This is that man's fault.
Police say Stanga has prior offenses involving a child, but in court, his attorney insisted authorities have the wrong man. He's now being held on more than $1 million bond. Meanwhile, Alyssa's mom has this advice for all parents.
Be aware. Tell them that how special they are, because you don't know. You just don't know.
Stanga is due back in court next month. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
It's now 5:12 on your Thursday morning.
And still ahead, Spotify launching a special virtual concert series. We're going to tell you how much it's going to cost.
Plus, it's what your kids will be talking about. Fortnite has partnered with the NBA. We'll check out some of the content they'll be asking for you to buy.
what's going on?
I'm a talking dog.
The other issue?
Oh, I'm scratching like crazy.
You've got some allergic itch with skin inflammation. Apoquel can work on that itch in as little as 4 hours, whether it's a new or chronic problem. And Apoquel's treated over 9 million dogs.
Nice. And the talking dog thing?
Is it bothering you?
No, itching like a dog is bothering me.
Until dogs can speak for themselves, you have to. When allergic itch is a problem, ask for Apoquel. Apoquel is for the control of itch associated with allergic dermatitis and the control of atopic dermatitis in dogs. Do not use Apoquel in dogs less than 12 months old or those with serious infections. Apoquel may increase the chances of developing serious infections and may cause existing parasitic skin infestations or pre-existing cancers to worsen. New neoplasias were observed in clinical studies and post-approval. Most common side effects are vomiting and diarrhea. Feeling better?
I'm speechless. Thanks for the Apoquel.
Aw, that's what friends are for. Ask your veterinarian for Apoquel. Next to you, Apoquel is a dog's best friend.
5:15, Microsoft has announced it's retiring the web browser Internet Explorer. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Microsoft is pulling the plug on Internet Explorer more than 25 years after it was introduced. Explorer will officially be retired next summer and replaced with Microsoft Edge, which debuted in 2015. Edge is a faster and more secure browser. Next, Spotify will soon be offering a new virtual concert series. The pre-recorded shows will start airing at the end of this month. They'll cost $15 each. The virtual concert series, though, won't be available on the Spotify app. The shows can only be viewed through a web browser at spotify.live. And the NBA is teaming up with the game Fortnite to coincide with the NBA playoffs. Fortnite players can choose outfits from all 30 teams. The event will also feature team battles where players can sign up for NBA teams and take part in the head-to-head matchups. Esports meets real sports. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
That looks fun.
Yeah, it does.
For the kids.
5:16, let's see how things are looking on the road. Stephen Cavazos has the latest. Good morning, Stephen. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, pretty good, guys. Happy to be here. And some good news again for if you plan on heading out the door in the next few moments. Nothing too major happening right now, which is, again, really good news. But we have spotted a few slowdowns as the morning is picking up. One particularly that's happening here on those eastbound lanes of 1604. You can see that's around 44 miles per hour right now. We do know that there is some construction that's happening right there along Highway 181. So you want to give yourself a little bit of extra time before heading out the door this morning and be prepared for those slowdowns. But as we said, things are looking pretty good so far for this Thursday morning. Nothing too major happening right now. Let's take a look over here at TransGuide. Again, these are the views that we're seeing right now. Again, nothing that we can't spot that's going to cause any major delays if you plan on leaving in the next few minutes. But again, we're going to be keeping tabs here throughout the morning. Things are looking pretty good, which is what we like to see here in the traffic lab.
We do. Thank you, Stephen.
Yvonne Sherney, one of our regular viewers, got a good snapshot of last night. Kind of sets the scene for almost everybody.
Yeah, and, just sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds. I think we'll have a few more clouds hanging around here, although some folks will see maybe a little more in the way of sunshine later on today. And yes, we do get a break from some of the rain for at least the rest of today, maybe a couple of showers tomorrow. The view out there right now, you can see it's still kind of fuzzy looking, if you will, because we do have some relatively high humidity. Okay, who picked up what as far as rainfall amounts? And think back to the computer models that we were showing going into last weekend and how the majority of the rain was going to be well off to the east. And, we were going to have some widespread 1, 2, 3 inch amounts and then the heavier amounts off to the east, which was definitely the situation. I mean, Victoria, Edna, 8, 9 inches of rain. Seguin, about 2 inches. And what's interesting, you look at Stinson, just under a half an inch of rain. That's what we picked up at the airport. But then you go up to Stone Oak and Bulverde. We're looking at 1.5 inches, 1.75 inches, almost 2 inches of rain. So really depending on where you are, and a lot of it down there off to the west and even further on down to the south. Again, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches worth of rain. So it's nice to see a break after all this very, very heavy rain. But yeah, everything's greening up quite nicely. Yesterday, we did hit 75 degrees. We're going to be topping that later on today, getting up into the mid and upper 80s in places. And again, they're very dependent upon cloud cover. You get another bigger hole in the clouds, a little warmer temperatures, but we'll be staying just a few degrees below normal, which is 88 degrees as of right now. We keep, like I said, a fair amount of clouds around here. Then we go into tomorrow. And clouds are going to really start to kind of move back in here. And notice how, now this model's not quite as bullish with the rain, but there are going to be just a couple of little spots here and there, maybe some sprinkles, some mist and drizzle. And this is basically because all the humidity is going to be pumping back on in here. And so we'll have some of those light little showers, and then perhaps even a shower or a thunderstorm. And again, this one's not as aggressive with some of the rain, but there will be some down here along the coastal plain. And I think we see 1 or 2 scattered showers around the area throughout the day tomorrow, even a thunderstorm. And then going into Saturday, we will see a little bit better chance for showers, a couple of thunderstorms around here, about a 40% chance of rain. Humidity is low right now, but dew point temperatures, because we're in the upper 50s right now, they're going to be coming back in and then staying up there. So it is going to definitely stay humid. And with that extra humidity hanging around here, that's also going to help feed, 1 or 2 showers around the area. 75 degrees today, mostly cloudy skies at noon, and high temperature we get up to 82. Again, about 5-6 degrees below normal, mostly cloudy skies, meaning some sunshine out there. And then tomorrow, a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. It's not going to be a widespread, not everybody's going to be seeing rain, and that'll be the situation over the weekend, but a slightly better chance for a stray shower thunderstorm over the weekend, even extending into next week. Again, it's not constant rain, not a total rain out, but just 1 or 2 of them here and there.
Well, and with in-person graduations and commencements taking place now.
Yep.
Hopefully it'll just hold off just enough.
And, it's nice, though, to see that chance of rain, even though we've had way too much in some places, because by probably July, we're going to be hurting for some.
Well, yeah, we'd like to put it in the bank, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, then pack the umbrellas.
521, about 62 degrees.
And still ahead in your morning spotlight, a look at the first Friends reunion trailer, plus a preview of Arnold Schwarzenegger's first TV series.
Pick 3 numbers, 780, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 4508, Fireball 0.
Cash 5, 9, 10, 11, 13, 29. Lotto Texas 4, 12, 25, 37, 51, 53. And your Powerball numbers 11, 13, 55, 56, 69. Powerball 4, Power Play 2. Good luck.
As more people get vaccinated against the coronavirus, they're having reunions with family and friends.
That includes a certain group of TV friends. CNN's David Daniel has that and more in the Hollywood Minute.
I remember I went to the producer of the show I was on, and he said, that show's not going to make you a star.
The first full trailer is out for Friends, The Reunion, streaming May 27th on HBO Max. The stars return to the show's familiar sets and reminisce about their remarkable 10-year run.
It was an incredible time. We became best friends.
Yeah, I'm going to cry now.
I mean, it's huge.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is taking on his first TV project. He'll star in a global spy adventure series for Netflix about a father and daughter who each realize the other has been a CIA operative for years. Schwarzenegger will also serve as an executive producer on the series.
I just want my children to know where I come from. I'm planning to go there for the first time since I left in 1944.
The Last Days looked at 5 Hungarian Holocaust survivors living in the U.S. who returned to their hometowns more than 50 years later. Now, the Oscar-winning documentary, executive produced by Steven Spielberg, has been remastered. It's streaming on Netflix in honor of Jewish American History Month and the USC Shoah Foundation's Stronger Than Hate initiative. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
They took away my...
And right now on KSAT.com, San Antonio firefighters saved the life of a 29-day-old kitten. The tiny animal was recently spotted at the intersection of Wurzbach Road and I-10 on the northwest side. So we are told firefighters dodged 2 cars and were able to rescue her. They named her Selena, and she is scheduled to go up for adoption at the San Antonio Humane Society in about a month. We have this story and others on KSAT.com.
Well, I'm so happy they saved Selena, but how do they know she's exactly 29 days old?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
It's kind of weird, huh?
It is. I was like, is that right?
Like she was born and then left wherever she was born, and they're like, she's been missing since
this
that
day. I guess so. That's something we need to investigate.
We will. Maybe not. About 5:26 on your Thursday morning. Glad you're with us.
And still ahead on GMSA, how schools are quickly adapting to changing mask requirements put out by the CDC and why some are not very happy.
Plus, marijuana use among teens is rising again. Why mental health experts say it's something every parent needs to be aware of.
And there's now a cheaper way to watch HBO Max. We're going to tell you how to get the discounted rate. That's coming up.
And ahead this morning on GMSA at 6, travel demand picking back up. San Antonio International Airport wants to make improvements to its facilities. Samuel King will give us the details. That's on GMSA at 6. Making news this hour, top health experts weigh in on the possible need for COVID-19 booster shots in the near future.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we're in the low 60s and no rain for now, but we are expecting some showers tomorrow.
And good morning to you. It is Thursday. It is May 20th.
Thanks for being with us this morning. Hope you are enjoying the fall weather that we're having.
A bit on the cool side out there. And I saw something in the sky this morning, Mike, that I haven't seen, it seems like months. The stars between the clouds. Yeah.
Because I was looking up this morning when I walked outside, it's like, wow, it feels really nice out there. I mean, we're in the low 60s here in town, and the humidity is very pleasant. And now the one thing, though, if we get some clear skies, that could have a little bit of a negative effect as far as fog is concerned, because that's going to not have a blanket on top of us if things start to clear on out. 60 right now, dew points at 58. So anytime you're below 60 with that number, it's comfortable. But notice how those two are kind of running neck and neck. So relative humidity is high, and there's a little bit of a breeze out there. And so what that means is there's just a couple of hints of fog. Some around Castroville, around New Braunfels, a little bit more. Gonzales has dropped down somewhat. So we'll have to watch out for this. And like I said, the reason is if you have the cloud cover, it kind of holds the heat in. But as the heat tries to escape, and that's going to help out with some of the fog out there if we get more holes in the clouds this morning. Mold is very, very high, 15,120, and the updated count is going to be coming out again in a couple of hours. 75 degrees today at noon, 82 for a high temperature. Going to call it mostly cloudy skies, but some folks will see maybe a little bit more sunshine than clouds later on today. And obviously, you get more sunshine. Temperatures will be going up a little bit, partly cloudy skies then later on this evening. Yeah, we do still have a couple of showers here and there in the forecast. We'll get that all sorted out and take a look ahead at the second to last weekend of May coming up here. It's in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Steve Cavazos, what's the latest, sir?
Well, the good thing is, if you're heading out the door, there is not going to be many major delays right now. We're taking a look at these inbound times from Bernie to downtown on I-10 East, about a 24-minute commute time. And if you're heading in from Bulverde on 281 South to downtown, 26 minutes, and 35 southbound, we're looking at about a 25 minutes to downtown. Now, we have spotted a few slowdowns, or one slowdown particularly that we've been talking about throughout the morning. This is construction that's happening here in those westbound lanes at Zeal Road. It's been off and on as we've kind of just been going throughout the show, but traffic is slowing down once more here in those westbound lanes, about 49 miles per hour right now. So just be prepared to take your time and give those drivers some extra room as well, and those maintenance workers as well, as they work to get everything cleared up for the day. Taking a look here at TransGuide, this is a view at 35 at Evans Road. For those early commuters, things are looking nice and smooth for this Thursday. We're going to be keeping tabs throughout the morning. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Stephen. San Antonio police say a car seems to be their only clue in a late-night murder. They have a very vague description of the getaway car, a black sedan, that was seen leaving the area where a man was shot and killed. They say they got a call late last night about shots fired in that East Side neighborhood. When they showed up to investigate, they found the man's body. He was in a parking lot outside Stanley's Ice House on East Commerce near Gevers. Now, police say the man had been shot in his chest and died at the scene. Officers who arrived there around 11 last night also had an emotional crowd on their hands. They say they had to call in extra help, and that even though they found a large number of people there, when they got there, no one reported seeing anything. The only information they have is that the shooter left in a black sedan. They have not released any information yet on the identity of the man who was killed.
This morning, there's new information about Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines, and we're learning more about when and if we'll need a booster against COVID-19 variants.
CNN's Brett Conway has the morning's latest information on COVID-19.
We're winning the war on the virus.
COVID-19 cases are the lowest they've been in nearly a year, down in all 50 states. Hospitalizations are down. Deaths are down. Health experts say it's proof vaccines work. And now Pfizer's vaccine just became easier to distribute. After the FDA announced the thawed, undiluted vaccine can be stored for a month at normal refrigeration temperatures instead of just 5 days. And there's new data that shows both Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines have cut down on infections in nursing homes. There are also lab experiments suggesting both vaccines appear to protect against the variants first seen in India. Both companies have been working on vaccine boosters against a variety of variants. But now, Dr. Anthony Fauci says they might not be needed against specific variants.
It is likely that you could just keep boosting against the wild type.
And he says we may need boosters in a year or so as the level of protection starts to decline. And that assumes full vaccination, though, which is only approved down to age 12, though trials are underway on kids younger than that. So the American Academy of Pediatrics says unvaccinated kids over the age of 2 still need to wear masks in public places. But the CDC has yet to release specific updated guidelines for schools. So the question, to mask or not to mask, depends on where you live. Britt Conway, KSAT 12 News.
We have late breaking news now on a shooting that just happened west of the downtown area.
This is happening at West Salinas and North Zarzamora. Katrina Weber is live there now. Good morning, Katrina.
Well, good morning. I just had a chance to briefly get some information from San Antonio police, and they are investigating the shooting. They found the victim, a man right here in the middle of the street, here on North Zarzamora. This is where they say that he fell after being shot. They believe that, or what he told them is that he saw some men here in the area who he believed were breaking into cars. He confronted them and an argument broke out, and during that argument, one of the men then shot him, hitting him in his side. He was taken to a hospital. Police here collecting evidence. They did find some shell casings nearby in the parking lot of a business, but they're still trying to gather information. They had just a pretty vague description of those, the shooter and the other people who were with him, just 3 men in their 20s. That's all they were able to tell me. But this investigation is just starting, just getting underway. That shooting happening less than a half hour ago. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. Keep us updated. An effort to make the House of Representatives mask-free has been rejected. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy filed a privileged resolution that called for ditching facial coverings on the House floor. It was blocked by Democrats last night. McCarthy's resolution came shortly after some Republican lawmakers received warnings or fines after purposely coming to the floor without face coverings. Right now, the rules call for all members to cover their noses and mouths unless giving a speech. Last week, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said guidance will remain until all members and staff are fully vaccinated.
Hurricane season could start early for the 7th year in a row. The National Hurricane Center says a weather system in the North Atlantic has a medium chance of becoming something stronger. If it does, it will be named Ana. The center is releasing its seasonal forecast today. It looks like hurricane activity will be above normal again this year.
5:37 on your Thursday morning.
And still ahead, Burger King upping its game with a brand new chicken sandwich. We're going to tell you when you can get one.
That thing is huge. Look at that. And next, why an increase in teen marijuana use has health experts very concerned about their mental health.
And taking a look outside with live cam. We're in the low 60s this morning. If you're spending some time outdoors, you might want to have a light jacket. We'll be right back.
Shutdowns and social distancing have given teenagers plenty of unwanted side effects, including an increase in mood disorders.
Now, a newly published report is adding another factor, increased cannabis use. Ursula Perry shows us why this may create serious problems for those with mood disorders.
Recent reports have found teen marijuana use is at its highest level in 30 years, with high school students more likely to smoke pot than tobacco. This despite lingering questions about marijuana's health effects. Dr. Cynthia Fontanella works with young people with mood disorders, including major depression and bipolar disorder.
We notice, a high prevalence of cannabis use and cannabis use disorders in this population, and we were curious about what the negative effects of that was on their trajectory for mood disorders.
In a study published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics, Fontanella detailed findings from a review of 205,000 Ohio Medicaid claims linked with death certificates for young people 10 to 24 years old. The researchers found that kids with mood disorders who used marijuana were at a higher risk for self-harm and death by all causes, including overdose and homicide.
The common misconceptions and attitudes is that marijuana is harmless, which it's not.
Fontanella says cannabis use might worsen the symptoms of mood disorder and interfere with the treatments, too.
Marijuana use is legal in 16 states, including the District of Columbia, but not here in Texas. Only CBD oil is. Now the researchers want to take a look at the mortality rates of young people who have mood disorders and the link to cannabis. They also want to take a look at the role that marijuana laws are having on youth. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Ursula Perry.
Thank you, Ursula. 5:42 on your Thursday.
And here's a chance to get outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Up next, how a new program from Texas Parks and Wildlife can turn you into a bow hunter by the fall.
Bow hunting may seem like to many a tough sport to pick up if you don't know much about it.
However, wildlife experts with Texas Parks and Wildlife say it's easiest to do that with a mentor or a guide. RJ Markets tells us about a program that teaches you everything you need to know about becoming a bow hunter.
Texas Parks and Wildlife Department's Community Archery Program wants to help all Texans learn the different skills necessary to becoming a successful bow hunter. Now, through the Bow Hunter by Fall program, new students will learn how to harvest their own meals, join an important outdoor tradition, and improve or learn a new skill. With this monthly and bi-monthly video instructional period, archers can learn how to get out from behind the keyboard and get behind the bow just in time for fall hunting season. The Bow Hunter by Fall e-newsletters will provide information on how to take and pass hunter education and help aspiring bow hunters understand the gear they'll need before hitting the field. It will also provide archery training tips, show you how to find a mentor, help to find public hunting lands, understanding license requirements, and what to look out for in a good hunting spot. Texas wildlife experts hope the Bow Hunter by Fall program will provide skills that you can use for many years to come. Bow hunting season in Texas typically runs from November to January. RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
In your morning consumer headlines, off go the masks, but on comes the lipstick. Many in the cosmetic industry are happy about that. Like many other businesses, the coronavirus pandemic deeply affected the industry. Mask wearing put a near halt on lipstick purchases, but now in the past 4 weeks, lipstick sales hit $34.2 million. That's up more than 80% from the same period last year. Walmart says lipstick is currently the top performer across all segments of cosmetics.
HBO Max offering a less expensive version of its streaming service. The catch is you have to watch some ads. The new ad-supported version of the platform will cost $9.99 a month. That's $5 cheaper than the ad-free version. HBO Max will, with ads, will launch the first week of June. For now, even with the ads version, you'll be able to watch HBO originals like Game of Thrones without ads. The ad-supported tier will not have access to Warner Brothers' big films that premiere on HBO Max and theaters at the same time.
Burger King's new chicken sandwich is now available nationwide. The fast food chain has been slowly rolling out the new item since February. Through most of June, customers who order one through Burger King's website or the app will get a free Whopper also. So the new chicken sandwich costs between $4 and $5. Wow. Looks great this morning.
That's a big sandwich.
Yeah, it is.
5:47. Let's see how things are looking over in the traffic lab. Stephen, what's up?
Yeah, I was looking, that looks like a big chunk of chicken that was like coming right at us there.
Yeah,
but you know,
delicious.
I'll tell you this, nothing too major. If you want to go get coffee this morning, things are looking good on the roadways right now. We have spotted a stall that just popped up here just a few moments ago. This was at 35 northbound, right at Randolph Road. Doesn't appear that it's impacting any traffic, so would be good to head in that direction, but give that driver plenty of room to get out of the way and get to work safely, or maybe go get that cup of coffee. Now, we have been talking about this construction that was happening right in the westbound lanes at Zeal Road. It's been off and on. We've been seeing the traffic picking up and slowing down, but right now do expect some slowdowns there. About 58 miles per hour here in those westbound lanes, slowing down to almost about 17 miles per hour. They're heading out on the westbound lanes coming in to downtown San Antonio. One look here at TransGuide, looking pretty smooth for this Thursday morning. Nothing too major to report, but again, maybe a good time to head out the door and grab yourself a cup of coffee before taking the kids to work, or taking the kids to school, and taking yourself to work. You don't want to take the kids to work too soon.
No, we don't want to do that.
They got time. They got to enjoy their youth.
Yes. Yeah. But yes, getting coffee is a great idea.
No, given the story leading up to that, chicken and waffles would be great.
Oh, that sounds great.
I just got into that.
Yeah, it's good.
Where's the closest place here, Mark?
Oh, because you want me to go get it. No, we're doing breakfast tacos today.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, that's right. One of our producers last day, Gretchen's party is at 7.
Chicken and waffles tomorrow. Hey,
so hit
cool
me tomorrow.
Picture.
Yeah.
Look at this. Somebody's got a really good lens on their camera, but that is a spot on the sun. Very neat. And just a word of warning, do not look up at the sun with any sort of a camera, anything like that, unless you have the proper filters and lenses on it. Obviously, this KSAT Connect picture user does, but boy, that's a neat shot there. Thank you very much for that one. All right, as far as sunrise this morning, don't know if it's going to be spectacular. We will have some sun in some places there. Don't have complete cloud cover. Mark said he saw a couple of stars earlier this morning. One thing, though, we are dealing with is a little bit of fog. Just a couple of specks here and there. Bernie Stage has dropped to 7 miles. Castroville, New Braunfels, but we do have more. As a matter of fact, Gonzales has now dropped down to just 3/4 of a mile visibility, 7 at Beeville. So we'll have to watch this as the morning progresses, because it usually likes to get a little thicker right around the time the sun starts to come up. Here's the satellite and radar loop over the past 12 hours, and it's nice to see, other than some of that leftover rain well off to the east and a couple of showers north, we don't have anything showing up after getting so drenched. Now, we do still have chances for rain, because if you look at the overall pattern, notice how these clouds are kind of moving down to the southeast, and these are kind of heading up to the northwest. So there is a bit of a counterclockwise rotation here, and there's an upper low which is sort of parked in the general vicinity, and that is going to kind of, it's taking a break right now. It's going to sort of come back in and have a little more influence on our weather as we go into tomorrow as well as Saturday. Tomorrow, maybe a couple of sprinkles in the morning, then a scattered shower or thunderstorm or two. Most of it is going to be well off to the east of us. Then we go into Saturday, and the humidity is going to continue to get pumped back on in here, and we'll have a couple of showers around maybe in the morning throughout mid-morning hours. Now, this does not mean, this is kind of broad brush, where it doesn't mean it's going to be raining constantly everywhere. It's just that chance for a couple of showers here and there, and then even throughout the afternoon. Same thing on Sunday. And with this overall pattern not really changing all that much, we'll still have a couple of showers kind of hanging around here, even going into the first part of next week. Again, it won't be constant rain. Not everybody's going to be seeing it, but there will be 1 or 2 of them out there as well. 70, I thought you were taking a picture of me for a second over there. They're taking a selfie. 75 degrees at noon today, mostly cloudy skies, and then 82 for a high temperature with mostly cloudy skies. Now, as we get into...
Now's your turn.
Oh, the paparazzi. Tomorrow, just a stray shower or two.
Let me see.
You've got to show that picture. Stray shower or two. That'd make a good bullseye on cardboard.
Can you guys
and then 1 or 2 of them
swing one around real quick? Yeah, you got to see.
Over the weekend, just a stray shower or two.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! What was I doing?
You were hamming it up.
Please delete that.
Why?
It's
what do you mean, why? Do I have to explain?
You still look handsome,
You
Mike.
do.
But
God bless her.
It's a funny post, though. Yeah.
I know.
Please delete that.
Okay. Save and share.
Save and share.
How do you airdrop again? Right now, it's 5:52 on your Thursday morning.
And let's take a look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3, 780, Fireball 7, Daily 4, 4508, Fireball 0.
Cash 5 numbers 9, 10, 11, 13, 29. Lotto Texas 4, 12, 25, 37, 51, 53. And Powerball 11, 13, 55, 56, 69. Powerball 4, Power Play 2.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, pressure intensifying now for a ceasefire in the Middle East. Hamas officials are predicting a ceasefire to come within days. Meanwhile, the Israeli prime minister publicly insisting that operations will go on until calm is restored. President Biden pushing for an immediate and significant de-escalation. We are live in the region with the latest. That plus much more coming up on GMA. We'll see you all soon.
Good morning, everybody. And this morning on KSAT.com, very excited about this. 10 things to look out for as we head back into movie theaters.
I can't believe we're talking about this. This is one of the things I've missed so much during COVID, is not being able to go watch a movie at a theater. I'm going to get my popcorn. And there's so many movies expected to come out. We have The Quiet Place 2. We have the Marvel movie. We'll finally get to see the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
So
and I was going to ask you, which one are you waiting for? Which one are you that's going to actually get you back into the theater?
I think A Quiet Place too. I was really, and a lot of these movies have been delayed for, because they were supposed to come out last year. So I was excited about them last year, but finally we're going to get to see them. But there's an article, like you said, 10 things to be excited about at the movies this summer. That's right now on KSAT.com.
Well, ahead in the next hour, GMSA, it's over, folks. Spurs fall on the road last night in Memphis, and the season has officially come to an end. We'll have the lowlights. And the University of Texas hires its first African-American band director in school history. We'll have details. And the very latest on a shooting that has left one person dead this morning. Katrina Weber is standing by with a live report from just west of downtown. Well, more on that coming up. We'll also check on traffic. Right now, you're looking live at 1604 and Petranco Road. Traffic is starting to build out there. There's 410 at San Pedro over by San Antonio International Airport. The sun is starting to come up. It's going to be a great day, and you're starting with us right here on GMSA.
A man who told police he was trying to be a crime fighter has ended up as a crime victim. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
Spurs leave it all on the court but come up short of a W. The season now over. We'll break down last night's play-in tournament game in Memphis.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, nice and chilly in the low 60s. You can grab a cup of warm coffee today.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, May 20th.
Happy Thursday. Thanks for being with us this morning. I like this cool weather.
Not bad. And Mike Ostrade joins us now. Temperatures are remaining below normal for the most part, aren't they?
Yeah, normal is about normal low. The average is about 68 degrees right now, and we're in the low 60s. So it's very nice. 50s in the hill country. Light jackets, pretty good idea. Nothing is showing up on radar as far as any rain right now. But what is showing up, little bit of fog. Bernie Stage was down to 7 miles. Now it's back up to 10, but just a hint of it there in Hado. Nothing too thick here in the metropolitan area, but just off to the east. Gonzales is only at 1.25 miles right now and 7 miles at Beeville. So we'll just have to watch out. Even Uvalde, Carrizo Springs, a little bit of this fog. So all the moisture in the ground. If we get some clear skies, that would help out with some of the fog to form. And that'll be just something, like I said, watch out for the next couple of hours. Mold is extremely high. The updated count's going to be coming out in about an hour and a half or so. And throughout the rest of today, temperatures will stay about steady right now because can't really drop down lower than what our dew point is, and so we'll stay just about 60 or so with mostly cloudy skies. Some folks may see a bit of a sunrise this morning. Then we make it up into the mid 70s today at noon, and a high temperature up in the low 80s, still below normal, upper 80s, the normal high. And really depending on where you are is how much sunshine you're going to be seeing. I'm going for mostly cloudy skies, but again, some folks will see a little bit more, so that will help to warm things up. We're not completely done with the rain. We still have a couple of showers here and there. I think the really, widespread, really heavy stuff is out of the picture, but we're still going to keep a few showers around going in toward the weekend and even next week. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority Samuel King is in the house now. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Good morning to you, Mike. Good morning to everyone out there. Things looking mostly okay here on the roads this morning. Only one real trouble spot that we're spotting this morning that we've been tracking. Stephen was telling you earlier about the construction here on the east side, far eastern Bexar County, near the Guadalupe County line. But the slowdown here is a little west of where that construction is. This is I-10 westbound. Slowdowns now at FM 1518 down to 36 miles per hour if you're coming in from the east. So coming in, looking at your travel time, still not really impacting things too badly coming in from Seguin to downtown San Antonio. You're at 30 minutes right now. That's really the only trouble spot on I-10 in either direction. 26 minutes coming, or 25 minutes coming in from New Braunfels area, 27 minutes coming in from Bulverde on 281. And here is TransGuide 35 at Evans, as traffic building a little bit this morning, but flowing well. And we'll have another update coming up.
Samuel, thank you very much. San Antonio police say a man who may have been trying to stop a crime is in the hospital with a gunshot wound.
He told them he was shot by a group of suspected car burglars. Katrina Weber is live where the investigation is going on right now, north Zarzamora and west Salinas. And Katrina, what's the status of the victim?
Well, again, he is in the hospital with a gunshot wound in his side, but police say he was alert and talking and able to tell them exactly what happened to him a little more than an hour ago. They did find the man here in the middle of the street, North Star Zamora at West Salinas. You can see them investigating, looking for more evidence just to make sure they didn't miss anything. Now, the man told them that he noticed a group of guys who he believed were trying to break into cars in the area. He approached them, confronted them, and then an argument broke out. He told police he was trying to get away from them, walking away when one of them shot him, again wounding him in his side. He was taken to a hospital. The shooters, the men involved in this, did get away, but you can see again police looking for more evidence here. We understand they did find some shell casings in a nearby parking lot, and so that is the evidence that they have to go on at this time. They had a very vague description of the shooters. They say they were simply 3 men in their 20s. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. A man is now charged for distributing a controlled substance containing fentanyl, which has caused another person to overdose. 27-year-old Patrick James Hall is facing 4 charges, including 1 count of possession with intent to distribute fentanyl, resulting in death. Hall faces between 20 years and life in federal prison. Right now on KSAT.com, we have the latest on this case and the details on the charges Hall is facing.
VIA bus drivers are demanding a pay increase. A local chapter of the Amalgamated Transit Union says drivers have continued to work through the pandemic and are demanding a 5% wage increase. VIA released a statement saying, in part, quote, operators received a wage increase in August 2020 to honor our working conditions. A scheduled increase for salaried employees was not implemented in 2020 amid budget uncertainties due to the ongoing pandemic. An adjustment was made for administrative employees in April 2021. VIA officials also say while there's no formal contract with the local union, discussions are ongoing.
The U.S. House has voted to create an independent commission on the deadly insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. However, the legislation has an uncertain future in the Senate as Republican leaders work to stop a bipartisan investigation that is opposed by former President Donald Trump. The bill passed the House with 35 Republicans voting with Democrats in support of the commission. Modeled after the investigation into the 9/11 attacks, the legislation would establish an independent 10-member commission that would make recommendations by the end of the year.
Tension over some of the new mask guidance put in place by the CDC that includes whether schools should insist that children wear masks.
Now the CDC director is being questioned on the new guidance. ABC's Eva Pilgrim has more.
The original epicenter of the pandemic roaring back to a new normal, with fully vaccinated New Yorkers cleared to ditch the masks indoors and outdoors.
The bottom line is if you're vaccinated, you have more freedom.
Some businesses keeping mask rules or asking for proof of vaccination. The owner of this restaurant says their customers are more comfortable dining outside. But across the country, a growing battle over masks as millions of children are still unvaccinated. Texas's governor is threatening to fine schools and local governments up to $1,000 if they impose mask mandates. In Florida, parents demanding schools drop masks in classrooms.
If a parent wants to have their child wear a mask to school, go for it. Just please do not mandate what my child must do.
The CDC director pressed on Capitol Hill on the new mask guidance and the questions facing American families.
Does my child need to wear a mask at school? Who's the ultimate decider here? Is that the CDC? Is it the president? Is the governor?
Dr. Rochelle Walensky saying decisions should be made at the local level.
We recommended that schools not change anything for this school year because it will be hard for our youth to get fully vaccinated before the end of this school year.
And senators asking why fully vaccinated Americans can go without a mask inside a restaurant, but not on a flight.
And why is it different on an airplane as opposed to a restaurant?
There's very little choice when you board an airplane as to who's going to be sitting next to you, who's around you. And also, airplanes may be a place where we have more variance because of the travel from international places.
And that was Eva Pilgrim reporting. A tax-funded program is helping families get back to work and find new career paths after COVID-19. The COVID-19 Workforce Recovery Program paid students a stipend to support them while they go to school. A recent graduate who used the Workforce Recovery Program while earning her certification as a medical administrative assistant says the program changed her life.
Like, thank you for real, because I didn't know that I had the opportunity to do that, and they gave me the opportunity to do that. And as a taxpayer, I would love to give it back to somebody else.
There are other agencies also offering workforce training. There's also a program for Bexar County residents. You can head to KSAT.com for more information.
Coming up tomorrow on GMSA, we'll be speaking with a pediatric sleep specialist. She'll be talking about everything you need to know about your kids' sleep patterns. And right now, on our KSAT Facebook page, we want to hear from you. What questions do you have about your kids and sleep? Just reply to our post, and we may answer your question tomorrow morning live right here on GMSA.
And I love the pic they chose. Cute little
kid. It's a good one. 6:09, about 61 degrees.
And it's a sad day for Spurs fans as the season has come to an end for the Silver and Black. We're going to have the highlights from the last game in Memphis. We're back after this.
But first, live cam right now. The sun is coming up. You're with GMSA, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Silver and Black faced Memphis last night in that do-or-die play-in game. Spurs got off to a great start. First play of the game, DeJounte Murray picks pocket for the slam. It's coming up here in just a second. We've got a little bit of B-roll, but it was all Grizzlies after that. Here's DeJounte. Memphis pulled out all the stops in the biggest home game since the Grizzlies' last playoff appearance in 2017 against the Spurs. But staying positive, Coach Pop said he told the Spurs he didn't know if he's ever been more proud of a team that didn't quit. DeMar DeRozan and Rudy Gay each scored 20 points as the Spurs lost their fifth straight. DeJounte Murray had his fifth triple-double with 10 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists. Keldon Johnson added 11 and Jakob Poeltl added 10. Poeltl tying his career high with 5 blocks. The Spurs season officially comes to an end, 100-96, and will miss the playoffs for the second year in a row.
You know, it's bittersweet, you know, because obviously, you know, you want to do better, you want to go further. But I mean, I'm proud of my teammates. You know, I'm proud of my coaches. I'm proud of everyone that contributed. You know, we went through a lot of trials, you know, throughout the season, a lot of ups and downs. You know, and for some reason, it's just like we couldn't give up. You know, we kept fighting regardless of what 5 stepped on the court. We kept fighting. Regardless of score, we kept fighting. Regardless of situation, we kept fighting. And you know, as a team, as a player, you know, that's all you can ask for.
Now to a little baseball over at Wolf Stadium after losing 1-0 the night before. Missions dropped their second straight game to Frisco last night. The final was 8-2. Two teams will play again tonight, starting at 7:05.
And traffic out there by 281 in the quarry, a little slow this morning. Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King.
Thank you, Stephanie. Mark was putting some finishing touches on this traffic update because we have a new crash coming in. I'll tell you about in just a second. But looking at some travel times, 28 minutes coming northbound from the Pleasanton area, 19 minutes from the Cashville area into downtown San Antonio on US 90, and 17 minutes from Lytle on 35. The crash I was going to tell you about is on the east side. This is on Seguin Road near Woodlake at Mallard Meadow near the shopping center there. So that's going to impact you again, not on the highway, but if you are someone who travels, maybe runs some errands in the morning in this area, just something to look out for. Again, Seguin Road there on the east side. Still watching these delays on I-10. Well, we had some delays, but now smooth sailing there on FM 1518. I mentioned this briefly yesterday. We'll go give it a little more time this morning. 281, we know we've had the construction project on 281 for a while, but now they're thinking about doing what to do up here because more people are moving up there, for instance. So they're having a virtual public hearing. They had one this week, and they're looking to add a 4-lane freeway, really expanded new sidewalks and overpasses. You can comment on this initial plan through June 2nd, and all that information is on texdot.gov. Your travel time right now on 281 between Bulverde and 1604 looks good, 7 to 8 minutes in each direction. And Stephanie mentioned 281 at the quarry, people heading to work or school or everything, traffic flowing there, but it is building, as Stephanie mentioned.
Thank you, Samuel. And then outside, definitely like maybe a small sweater, jacket for the kids waiting for the bus.
Yeah, you stand out there at the bus stop for a while, especially in the hill country where temperatures are in the 50s as of right now. It's a cool morning. It is very nice. There is, relatively speaking, a lot of humidity, and so that's why it's sort of that dampish chill with this moisture in the air. And That was just Mark whispering sweet nothings over there. So patchy fog or two. Just wave into the camera and hold up signs. 82. You can see what he's doing off camera right now. 82 with mostly cloudy skies later on today. And some folks will see a little bit more in the way of sunshine later on. Once again, this was a very, very cool picture. Let me switch this picture. That was a sunspot that was out there. And yeah, very neat. Again, we can take it full. Don't point a camera or anything like that at the sun if you don't have the proper lenses and filters and all that. So here's a look outside right now. And yeah, still got that kind of haze looking out there because we do have relatively high humidity. Now, as far as rain, we've had some wonderful rain, obviously, yesterday, and these numbers are out there at the airport. Some folks obviously picked up a ton more rain, especially down to the east and to the southeast, but 1/100th of an inch of rain. So that brings the official total up to 2 3/4 inches. And notice how we're just about on par, 1/10 of an inch above what is the normal. But then if you go back to the 1st of March, we're 2 inches above normal. So we did have, because May is usually a wetter month, April, we had all of that very heavy rain right at the end of the month. And so that's why for the past couple of months, we are well above normal as well as for the year. So we did really bump up a lot above normal right there at the end of April, but we're just about on par for the month of May, and it's not going to take too many more days before we start to fall below normal if we don't get more rain. So yeah, more rain is definitely in the offing around here. All right, with all the moisture hanging around in the ground and in the atmosphere, we do have a little bit of fog to deal with, and as we see any sort of breaks in the clouds, that's going to allow temperatures to kind of drop down a little more. That's going to help out with some of the fog, and there is some around Gonzales, 1.25 miles visibility right now, 4 miles at Carrizo Springs, 7 Uvalde, as well as Eagle Pass. So this will get a little bit thicker as the morning rolls on and we approach sunrise. Now, as far as the rain today, we're not going to see anything. There may be a little sprinkly shower down there to the southeast, but we go into tomorrow, more humidity comes back on in here. We are going to be seeing a couple little sprinkles during the morning hours, and then in the afternoon, a shower or a thunderstorm or two. It's not going to be raining constantly. Not everybody's going to be seeing rain. There will just be 1 or 2 of them out there. Then Saturday morning, there are going to be just a few scattered showers here and there, even around mid-morning, 1 or 2 of them, even a thunderstorm trying to pop up. So if you have any outdoor activities this weekend, it won't be a complete washout, but just be on the lookout for 1 or 2 of these showers around here. And even going into Sunday and the first part of the week. The reason for it is we've got this low kind of hanging around here as of right now, and that's going to just sort of sit right down there, and that's what's going to sort of agitate in the atmosphere and sort of stuck there, and it's just kind of sitting, and that's why some of these showers are going to be pulled in here from the Gulf of Mexico, and nothing's really going to be changing even going into the first part of next week. So we'll have to watch out for just 1 or 2 showers around here even going into the first half of next week. Again, not raining constantly, just a few of them. So today, 75 degrees, mostly cloudy skies, and then a high temperature today. We're going to make it up to 82. Some folks are going to see a lot more in the way of some sunshine today. Then we go into tomorrow, a couple of showers hanging around here, 83 for a high temperature, and over the weekend, 1 or 2 showers scattered about here and there, and then we'll even have a few showers hanging around. I'm just looking at one of the TransGuide cameras right now, and in some places, there's beautiful blue skies out there right now.
Oh, yeah, that one shot over at 90 and 1604. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. We're
right there.
Get some cameras moving around here and hopefully get some shots.
We'll show it to you coming up. Yeah. About 6:20 on your Thursday morning.
And still ahead on GMSA, Microsoft saying goodbye to its longtime web browser. Stay with us.
Do lotion and jeans go together? A Nivea breathable experiment. Now they do. Moisturizes deeply with no sticky feel. The game-changing Nivea breathable.
Feel the cool rush of Claritin Cool Mint Chewables. Powerful 24-hour non-drowsy allergy relief plus an immediate cooling sensation for your throat. Feel the clarity and live Claritin Clear.
Make fitness routine with Pure Protein.
High protein, low sugar. Tastes great.
High protein, low sugar. So good.
high protein, low sugar, birthday cake.
Pure Protein bars and shakes for every fitness routine.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it happened in broad daylight. A brazen attempt at what would have been this mother's worst nightmare.
If I would have lost her yesterday, the chances of me getting her back would have been very slim.
The 11-year-old seen in this video in the fight of her life is Amber Bonell's daughter, Alyssa. She told GMA overnight only one thing was on her mind.
Will I die today? Will I get to live the rest of my life?
She was almost kidnapped, that the guy grabbed her by her throat. He had a knife. He drug her to the ground, that she was able to knock him down.
Experts say quick thinking saved her life.
She kept her head on a swivel, and that's probably why she's alive today. It's amazing that she was able to see this dangerous situation, avoid it.
Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the tips every parent should teach children in situations like this. With your GMA First Look, I'm Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
Microsoft pulling the plug on Internet Explorer more than 25 years after it was introduced. Explorer will officially be retired next summer, replaced with Microsoft Edge, which debuted in 2015. Edge is faster and a more secure browser.
Spotify will soon be offering a new virtual concert series. The pre-recorded shows will start airing at the end of this month. They'll cost $15 each. The virtual concert series won't be available on the Spotify app. The shows can only be viewed through a web browser at spotify.live.
The NBA teaming up with the game Fortnite to coincide with the playoffs. Fortnite players can choose outfits from all 30 teams. The event will also feature team battles where players can sign up for NBA teams and take part in head-to-head matchups.
Very interesting. Time now is 6:25 and about 61 degrees right now.
Still ahead on GMSA, travel demand really starting to increase. San Antonio International Airport wants some upgrades to their facilities. Our Samuel King will have details.
And San Antonio police are asking for help finding a suspect in an arson case. And you could get a cash reward. Stay with us. We're back after this.
But first, TransGuide, the sun is up. There's that shot right now we wanted to tell you about with all that blue sky. Nice way to start a Thursday morning.
At least one man may believe crime fighting doesn't pay. He's in the hospital with a gunshot wound. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about what happened.
Outside with the live cam, if you're just now tuning in, look at that sunrise. Keep it really quiet right now. Mother Nature doesn't realize it's May 20th because we've got temperatures in the mid 50s out there, even lower 60s here in the city. Mike has more coming up.
Good morning. It is Thursday, May 20th. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's a beautiful shot out there.
Nice to see the sun for a change, Mike Osterhage. A lot of folks are ready for a break from the heavy rainfall we've seen on and off for weeks.
Yeah, we get a break from it today. Now, we're not completely done with rain. We'll still see some the next few days around here. But yeah, that's a really nice looking picture. Notice how there is, though, a little bit of this haze right here, right along the horizon. Even though the dew point temperatures and the humidity is low, it's comfortable out there relative to the temperature, the numbers are fairly high. So therefore, what I'm talking about is we're at 60, but then this is at 58 degrees. So just in itself, yeah, we're below 60 for a dew point, but we've got relatively high humidity and a light little breeze. And that's why we are seeing some fog in places. As a matter of fact, Kerrville just dropped down to 1 mile visibility, 7 Castroville, 8 in New Braunfels, 7 in Pleasanton, and then some thicker fog out here to the east. But even Carrizo Springs is down. You're down to 4 miles visibility, 7 out there, Uvalde, as well as Eagle Pass. So just watch out for some of this patchy fog because with the clear skies, that's allowing temperatures to the heat to kind of escape out into space, if you will. And so that's why we're seeing some of that fog. Mold is on the very high side. The updated count's going to be coming out in about, say, an hour or so. All right, coolish, some patchy fog around the area this morning and partly to mostly cloudy skies. Some folks will see more sunshine today. Other folks will keep a lot more in the way of clouds around here, and we'll be in the low 80s later on today. And then tomorrow, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm or two. Not everybody's going to be seeing rain. That's going to be the situation over the weekend, but there will be, just a couple of scattered storms over here, and temperatures will stay right around the low 80s over the weekend. Details coming up, and we'll take a look into next week as well. Just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King. What's going on, sir?
Things relatively calm at the morning, Mike. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone there. Calm at the moment, I should say. The crash we had there on the east side of Seguin Road, that has now cleared. So things looking fine if you're someone who needs to run some errands before heading into work or dropping off the kids at school. Everything looking fine this morning as we look at the maps, including here on the south side. This is a military between 35 and 37, 9 minutes in each direction this morning. Also looking at some other travel times from around the region, 26 minutes coming in from New Braunfels on 35, also 26 minutes coming in from Bulverde on 281, 24 minutes coming in on I-10 from Burning. Here is 281 at Grayson. You can see the skyline there, traffic flowing well this morning. And we'll have another update coming up.
Well, let's get to late breaking news. A man hoping to stop a crime has instead become a crime victim. Someone shot him early this morning on San Antonio's west side.
Katrina Weber is live where it happened at North Zarzamora and West Salinas. And Katrina, what do police know about the shooter?
Well, they tell me they know very little. All they had was a description of 3 men in their 20s involved in this shooting. Now, we do know that they spent some time collecting evidence, including shell casings from this parking lot of the State Farm. This is here at the corner of North Zarzamora and West Salinas. Police say this is where they found the victim, in the middle of the street. Let me show you some video from earlier this morning. This happened right before 5 o'clock. They say that the man told them that he walked upon this group who was breaking into cars, confronted them, and then an argument broke out. The man who was shot says he tried to get away. He was actually walking away from the group when they ran behind him, and one of them fired at him, shooting him in his side. He was taken to a hospital for treatment. The 3 men did get away, and again, police right now trying to gather all of the evidence they can. We understand that they've been looking for surveillance video to provide some more clues, because right now, again, all they have is a vague description of those shooters. Reporting live on the west side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
New this morning, San Antonio police say a man is dead following a shooting on the east side overnight. Happened just after 11 last night in the 2400 block of East Commerce in the parking lot of Stanley's Ice House. SAPD says when officers arrived, they found a man with multiple gunshot wounds to the chest. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The only lead investigators have right now is a black car that was seen driving away from that area. Police and Crime Stoppers are asking for your help solving an arson case. It happened back on February 20th, right after that big winter storm at Main Street Bar in the 13,400 block of Wetmore Road. That's on the northeast side. Police say 2 suspects were caught on camera trying to light the building on fire. Investigators say they need help identifying the person in the brown jacket and black hat. If you have information about this incident, call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. You could get a cash reward. Traffic authority coverage of a different kind now, not in the roads, but in the air. Officials at San Antonio International Airport say traffic has rebounded from the pandemic much faster than they thought it would.
Samuel King is back now. And Samuel, we understand that they want the timetable of some improvements moved up.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. And Stephanie, Airport wants to upgrade its baggage handling system along with some renovations to Terminal A and an upgraded police K-9 building. The city council here in San Antonio is set to take up the issue later this morning. Now, passenger traffic is increasing. Airlines like JetBlue are set to add new routes this year, so the airport wants to get a head start on the improvements in order to better serve passengers. For instance, the baggage system is already 10 years old. Officials say it needs to be improved to meet current and future passenger demand. Terminal A renovations would add 1 new gate to accommodate more flights. Terminal B is set to get 2 new gates under an existing capital improvement plan. Also, the TSA plans to add 4 K-9 units to the airport, so more space is needed to house those units as well as the existing airport police K-9 units. Now, the airport is asking for $1.3 million this fiscal year to get things started. Over the next few years, the projects would cost a total of $45 million. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you very much, Samuel. Good to see you, sir. Right now, 6:36. Questions remain following a death row inmate's execution last night up in Huntsville. Quentin Jones was given a lethal injection, but without any media witnesses present. Prison officials say they forgot to notify reporters that the execution was happening. According to the Associated Press, the previous 570 executions carried out by the state since capital punishment resumed in 1982 have all had at least one media witness. A spokesperson for the agency was not sure if the glitch was a violation of state law or a violation of agency policy. Agency officials described the execution as nothing out of the ordinary. Spokesman Jeremy Diesel said, quote, "My assumption is there will be a thorough investigation into how this all transpired and what was missed that allowed it to happen," end quote.
And turning now to an update in the George Floyd case, the Minnesota Court of Appeals will hear arguments this morning on whether 3 former Minneapolis police officers charged in Floyd's death should face additional charges. Prosecutors want to add the 3rd charge of aiding and abetting 3rd-degree murder. Right now, the 3 former officers are facing charges of aiding and abetting 2nd-degree murder and manslaughter.
Breaking overnight from Capitol Hill, the House votes yes to form a 9/11-style commission to investigate the attack on the U.S. Capitol.
35 Republicans breaking with House Leader Kevin McCarthy by voting for the commission. The bill now moves to the Senate. ABC's Ika Jachi has the latest from Washington.
The bill is passed.
Overnight, 35 Republicans splitting with the party, voting alongside Democrats to create a 9/11-style commission investigating the attack on the Capitol.
The American people expect Congress to put partisanship aside for the sake of our homeland security.
That is a really striking display of disloyalty inside a party where President Trump has been so dominant. But that's a pretty big number to see about 3 dozen cross-party lines like that.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell originally signaling he was open to the formation of a commission, now calling the effort slanted and unbalanced.
What is clear is that House Democrats have handled this proposal in partisan bad faith, going right back to the beginning.
Democrats are shocked at the opposition. Congressman Tim Ryan slamming the majority of Republicans who voted against the proposed panel, which was developed by a group of lawmakers in both parties.
Benghazi, you guys chased the former Secretary of State all over the country, spent millions of dollars. We have people scaling the Capitol, hitting the Capitol Police with lead pipes across the head, and we can't get bipartisanship. What else has to happen in this country?
Democrats say they'll move forward with or without GOP help.
We will find the truth. If they don't want to do this, we will.
But they'll need the support of 10 Republicans in the Senate to get this passed.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
The resistance against the commission spearheaded by the former president, Trump releasing a statement saying Republicans in the House and Senate should not approve the Democrat trap of the January 6th commission. It is just more partisan unfairness. Now, even though his brother, former Vice President Mike Pence, was targeted by the mob on January 6th, Congressman Greg Pence opposes the commission. He says it's too partisan. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Good morning. Right now on KSAT.com, we're giving our viewers a chance to say farewell to our Paul Venema.
Yes, an absolute legend in the news business. Paul has been at KSAT for 47 years, has covered some of the biggest things that's happened over that time period, from the Branch Davidians to the Janine Jones trial. And of course, we all know about his relationship with Willie Nelson.
Exactly. But you can go to the article on our website right now and you can put your farewell there. It's all up on KSAT.com.
Oh, Paul, we're going to miss you so much.
Yeah, well, we miss you already with the pandemic. We hadn't seen him sitting at his desk. So.
I know. I haven't seen him since March of last year, for sure.
Yeah.
We're not ready to say goodbye, but I know Paul is ready to say adios. He's
I think
my
so.
job here is done. 640, about 61 degrees.
And still ahead on GMSA, are front lawns becoming a thing of the past? RJ Marcus has the details on a grass alternative that's popping up across the U.S. We're back after this. And welcome back. It's about 6:44. A front lawn has been a social status symbol of the American dream since the 1700s, but maintaining the perfect yard does come at a cost.
From toxic pesticides and chemical fertilizers to carbon emissions from mowers and water usage, lawns may not be the greenest option for communities moving forward. RJ Marquez tells us about an alternative to grass.
The perfect lawn. It's hard to achieve and even harder to maintain.
My boyfriend has the push lawnmower. He hates having to push it.
It's not just hard on you, it's also hard on the environment.
We have so much underutilized land here in America, more than 40 million acres.
Lawns across America use 9 billion gallons of water in one day, and the EPA reports that 50% of that water is wasted due to evaporation or runoff. And Yale University reports U.S. mowers use more than 600 million gallons of gas each year. Now, a new wave of options greener than grass are popping up in neighborhoods.
We transform the average American lawn into a productive microfarm.
Urban agricultural programs like fleet farming aim to create agrihoods devoted to connecting with Earth and each other. It also combats local food insecurity, redirecting resources, and even attracting pollinators like butterflies and bees. Edible landscapes engage communities to grow together.
And that's a feeling unlike any other. Harvesting the fruits of your labor, the literal fruits of your labor, is just, it's insanely rewarding.
Not sure if you have a green enough thumb for a food forest? Well, there are still ways to reduce your footprint. AstroTurf and synthetic lawns can conserve billions of gallons of water, and native ground covers like moss, herbs, wildflowers, succulents, and even stones can reduce carbon emissions from mowing. They also attract beautiful butterflies. RJ Marcus, KSAT 12 News.
Over on KSAT.com this morning, UT Austin has hired its first African-American band director in school history. Cliff Crooms takes over the Longhorn Marching Band at his alma mater starting June 1st. Till recently, Crooms was an assistant band director at LSU. He also spent some time right here in San Antonio as the assistant director of bands at MacArthur High School. Congratulations. We've got more details posted on KSAT.com.
Yeah, go Longhorns.
I knew there'd be a chance. And that's okay. I know you're proud.
That's okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King. And it looks like things are moving on 1604.
Yeah, things 1604 looking fine, and as well as our other travel times here. 19 minutes coming in from Seguin on I-10. Had some construction overnight, but that seems to have cleared. Also 29 minutes coming in from the Floresville area. Stephanie mentioned 1604 at Petrenko. Things looking fine from this view right now, so that's pretty good this morning. So hearing some reports that might be a crash nearby, but we're not seeing it from this view. But we'll keep watching on it, but so far things look fine here. But we do have a crash reported. This is Blanco near Bitters on the north side. So something, if you're commuting in your area, in that area, that's just something to watch out for as well. Other parts of the northwest side of San Antonio looking fine. We do starting to get some of our delays on 1604 just past Bandera Road, and on Loop 410 here, some delays building right at Highway 151. 7 minutes right now from Ray Ellison to 151. That's going to continue to build there, so that's just something to look out for, guys.
Before I get to the weather, got to give a quick shout out. Happy 71st anniversary to my mom and dad. Yep.
Aww,
May 20th, 1950.
Happy anniversary.
And
you got to see them recently.
This is a picture, yeah, when I was visiting them a couple of weeks ago in Florida, and my mom is 94. My dad's going to be 94 in August, and a couple of bumps here and there, but still they're doing pretty darn good.
Well, they're adorable, yeah. Mike.
Happy 71st to them. Aww. So very blessed that still got both my parents. So nice looking sunrise. We got a little bit of sun obviously shining through, some clouds off in the distance. We will keep some clouds around, sort of a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. And, looking back since the latest batch of rain all started here, obviously along the coastal plain, we got way too much in some situations. Yoakum, about 4¼ inches of rain. Victoria, more than 8, approaching 10 at Edna, and then lesser amounts. But still, I mean, when you think the lesser amount is still an inch at Mico, inch and 2/3 there in Divine. That's fantastic. Stinson, about a ½ inch of rain, and that's what we picked up out there at the airport. So obviously it really depends on where you live. It was interesting even yesterday when or a couple of days ago when all that rain fell right on the north side of Bexar County and some of the surrounding counties, but in downtown we didn't get any. So yeah, it was kind of a hit or miss situation. But a lot of folks looked at even down to the south and the southeast. Tilden, about almost 5.5 inches of rain. Visibility, a little bit of fog is showing up. Kerrville was down to 1 mile. Now it's up to 5 miles visibility. 2.5 at Gonzales. So when things start to warm up a little bit, we should get rid of this fog, but just watch it for the next hour or so. And the dew point temperatures are pleasant right now, but humidity is going to start to come back later on tonight as well as tomorrow. And as that humidity comes back in here, we may see a couple of sprinkly showers hanging around here in the morning hours, and then 1 or 2 showers even in the afternoon. And yeah, it's not going to be widespread rain. It's not going to be any sort of a wash up, but we'll have a few more showers and thunderstorms popping up around here tomorrow as well as Saturday. Probably a little bit better chance of rain going into the weekend. Call it a 40% chance for a couple of showers and thunderstorms. So again, not everybody's going to be seeing rain, but there is that chance over the weekend. 75 at noon today. Going to call it now a mixture of sunshine and clouds, and then 82 for a high temperature, which is still on the below normal side. 88's the normal, the average high temperature. 83 tomorrow, 80 over the weekend. A few more clouds, a couple more showers around here. Even a couple of showers still. Again, not constant rain or everybody seeing it, but that'll be going into the first part of next week.
Well, without a doubt, looking at that picture of your folks, we know where you got your smile from, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
They are
also photogenic.
Appreciate that.
Photogenic. 6:50 right now on your Thursday morning, about 61 degrees.
And coming up tomorrow on GMSA, we'll be speaking with a pediatric sleep specialist, and she'll be talking about everything you need to know about your kids' sleep patterns. So right now on our KSAT Facebook page, we want to hear from you. What questions do you have about your kids and sleep? Just reply to our post, and we may answer your question tomorrow morning live on GMSA.
But take a moment and soak up this sunrise with us right here on GMSA. We'll be back.
It seems that one crime has led to another in this West Side neighborhood. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. San Antonio police say a man told them he was shot while trying to stop some car burglaries. The police found him in the middle of the street at North Star Zamora and West Salinas. That was shortly before 5 this morning. The man told them that he saw 3 people breaking into cars and confronted them. That led to an argument, and then the man says he tried to walk away, but the group chased after him, with one of them shooting him. He was hit in the side and taken to a hospital for treatment. The shooters ran away, and police say they have only a vague description of 3 men in their 20s. They are still investigating this case. Reporting from the West Side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
It is exactly 5 minutes till 7.
Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King.
Thank you very much, Mark and Stephanie. Take a look at some travel times coming in from across the area to downtown San Antonio. They look good at the moment. 24 minutes coming in from Bernie and I-10, 26 minutes on 35 from New Braunfels. So that looks good. Hoping that this crash on Blanco and Bitters does clear out fairly shortly. We do have some other issues, though. Some building traffic on 1604 this morning up to 13 minutes now between Bandera and 281, 11 minutes the other direction. Also, watch out if you're on the west side on Loop 410 approaching 151, basically from Marbach up there down to 11 miles per hour at the interchange. But once you get to 410 at Fredericksburg, Mike, for the moment, things look fine.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty nice all day long. Nice little break from some of the rain, and we do have some clouds hanging around here, but a good-looking sunrise. Visibility, a little bit of fog is showing up around Gonzales, some out toward the Hill Country and Carrizo Springs down to 3 miles right now. And temperatures, we're at 59 here in town. We're almost 10 below normal right now. Light jacket. Who would have thought toward the middle to end of May we'd be saying light jacket, but 82 for high temperature today. Call it a mixture of sunshine and clouds today. And then, yeah, we will still have a few showers, a couple of thunderstorms around here, even going through the weekend and first part of next week.
Yeah, I see low 50s out in the Hill Country right now. That's unbelievable.
Almost cold.
How nice. Thank you for joining us today.
See you at 9.